You're listening to the Daily Dose of English, where we help you improve your English one step at a time. Welcome to a new deep dive. Today, we're taking something really practical, something that trips up a lot of English learners, common grammar mistakes. We want to dig into some specific examples, figure out why they're wrong, and, get the right way fixed in our heads. Basically, a bit of a shortcut to avoiding some common errors. Okay, let's unpack this. It's not just about memorizing rules, but getting that feel for the pattern, right?
Exactly. And what's really interesting is that you see the same kinds of mistakes popping up again and again across different learners. It often points to something, well, fundamental about English that might be tricky. Spotting these specific things, that's a huge step forward. It's like suddenly seeing the road signs clearly.
Making the invisible visible. I like that. Okay, so where do we start? Let's grab that first example. I've definitely heard this one. Today morning, I woke up late.
It sounds logical, doesn't it? You've got today, you've got morning. So what's the catch in English? Well, that's a great point because English has these fixed phrases, these collocations, that don't always follow strict logic. You can say today afternoon or today evening.
Right.
But for some reason, today morning just isn't the standard way we do it. It's one of those you kind of just have to learn. The word we use instead of today for the morning of today is this.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, the correct way is always this morning. Like, this morning I was late, or did you have breakfast this morning?
It's morning. Got it. So it's less about a big grammar rule and more a specific convention for that time phrase. Easy to see how a direct translation might lead you astray there.
Precisely. It's a small thing, but, using this morning sounds instantly more natural.
Okay, good start. Let's dive into number 2. This one's about word types, adjective versus noun confusion. The sentence is, what's the difference? You hear different, it means not the same, but grammatically, what's wrong there?
Yeah, this is a really common one. The issue is using the adjective form when you actually need the noun. Different. D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T, that's the adjective. It describes something.
Like, my shoes are different from yours.
Exactly. Different describes the shoes. But in what's the different, you're not asking how something is described, you're asking about the thing itself, the quality or concept of not being the same. And for that concept, you need the noun form.
Which is?
Difference. D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-C-E. So the correct question is, what's the difference? You're asking about the difference, the noun.
Ah, okay, that clicks. Different tells you how things are. Difference is what the difference is. Like, can you see the difference? Not, can you see the different? Makes sense.
Right. Clarifies the job each word is doing.
Okay, moving on. Error number 3. This one deals with talking about past time. The example is, I met John 2 years before. And we use before for the past all the time, right? I saw that movie before. Call me before you leave. So why doesn't 2 years before work on its own like that?
Good question. It gets into how English handles time references relative to, relative to now versus relative to another point. Before usually needs that other point. Like, I met John before I moved here.
Yeah.
See, the reference point is moving here, or just generally, have we met before?
Yeah.
Meaning, at any point in the past. But when you're specifically counting back a duration from right now, from this present moment, English uses a different word.
And that word is?
Ago. A-G. Ago. Always anchors the event to the present. So you can't just say 2 years before floating in space like that. It has to be ago.
Yep.
The correct sentence is, I met John 2 years ago, meaning 2 years before now.
Right, okay. So ago is always looking back from today, basically. But before needs another anchor point, either another past event or just means sometime previously. That distinction really helps. Easy to grab before just because it means past, but ago is specific.
Exactly. It's all about that anchor point.
All right, error number 4. This one looks tricky. It's about combining numbers and nouns to describe something. The sentence is, this is a 6-month course. The course is 6 months long, plural. So 6 months seems totally logical. Why isn't it right?
This is about how we make compound adjectives. When you stick words together to act like a single adjective describing something else.
Okay.
When you take a number in a noun like 6 and months and use that whole chunk to describe another noun like course, the noun inside your chunk becomes singular, even if the number is more than 1.
Wait, say that again?
Think of 6 month as becoming one single adjective unit modifying course. Because it's acting like an adjective, the noun part, month, drops its plural S. It's like saying a $5 coffee. It costs $5, but we say $5 singular. Or the example often used is $1 million idea, singular dollar.
Ah, I see, because $1 million is acting as one descriptor for the idea.
Exactly. So applying that here.
It should be. This is a 6-month course.
You've got it. 6 month describes the course.
That's a really useful rule. So when the number noun thing comes before the noun it describes, the inner noun goes singular, like a 2-hour meeting, not 2 hours, or a 10-page report, not 10 pages. Wow, that's subtle but important.
It is. It catches a lot of people out because, like you said, 6 months on its own is plural. Context is key.
Okay, error number 5. This is about verbs that need something after them. The example sentence, thank you, I really enjoyed.
It just sort of hangs there, doesn't it? Feels unfinished. Why? What's missing after enjoyed?
Yeah, enjoy is one of those verbs that, well, usually needs an object. You need to say what you enjoyed.
Like, I enjoyed the concert, or I enjoyed the meal.
Exactly, the concert, the meal, those are the objects. But what if you just enjoyed the general experience? You had a good time.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, where the person enjoying is kind of the focus of the enjoyment, English uses a reflexive pronoun.
Reflexive, like myself, himself, herself. That's them. Words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves. So if you mean you had a good time generally, the correct sentence is, I really enjoyed myself. It's a very common pattern with enjoy.
Ah, okay, so enjoy needs an object. And if the object is just the person having the good time, you use the reflexive pronoun. I enjoyed myself. It gives it that closure it felt like it was missing.
Precisely. The action of enjoying needs to land somewhere. Often it lands back on the person.
Makes sense. All right, number 6. This one's sneaky, looks like spelling, but it's meaning and, crucially, pronunciation, too. The sentence, did you lose your cell phone? L-O-S-E. Okay, L-O-O-S-E versus L-O-S-E. What's the deal here?
This is a classic mix-up. And yeah, it's fundamentally about picking the wrong word, which looks like a spelling error.
Yeah.
Let's break it down. L-O-O-S-E, loose, is mostly an adjective. It means not tight. Think a loose screw. My pants are loose.
Okay, not tight. Got it.
Then there's L-O-S-E, lose. That's the verb. It means, you can't find something, you misplace it, or you don't win something. Don't lose your ticket. You might lose the match.
Right, opposite of find or win.
So in the sentence, did you lose your cell phone? The meaning is clearly about misplacing it, right? So you need the verb.
Lose. L-O-S-E.
Exactly. Did you lose yourself? But here's the really important part. You mentioned the pronunciation. They sound different.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Loose, L-O-S-E, the adjective, ends with a clear S sound. Lusses.
Like goose.
Lusses.
Okay.
But loose, L-O-S-E, the verb, ends with a Z sound.
Lussus.
Like choose or snooze.
Loose. Wow. Okay, that's huge. So it's not just a typo saying loose when you mean lose. Actually sounds wrong because the final sound is different. Loose versus lusses. That's a fantastic tip.
It really helps lock in the difference, doesn't it? Sound and meaning together.
Definitely. Okay, error number 7. This one shifts gears slightly. It's about pronunciation, specifically word stress. The word is academic. A-C-E-G-E-M-I-C. We use it a lot, like academic studies or academic year. But where do people often put the emphasis incorrectly?
Yeah, word stress is super important in English. Get it wrong, and the words can sound, well, a bit strange. With academic, a common mistake is stressing the first syllable, academic, or maybe the last, a-CA-dem-ic. But the correct stress, the main emphasis, should fall on the third syllable from the end. In this word, that's the dem part. So you should pronounce it academic. Hear that?
Academic.
Academic. Okay, really hitting that middle syllable. An academic subject.
Yeah,
that sounds much more natural than academic. It's funny how stress changes the whole rhythm of the word.
It really does. Mastering stress on common words like this makes a big difference to how clearly you're understood. Good point. Okay, final one on our list, number 8. Back to grammar. Specifically, those little words a and the articles. The sentence is, yes, I have a free time.
Oh.
What's wrong with putting a before free time?
This comes down to whether we're treating time as countable or uncountable in this context. When you talk about free time, meaning leisure time, time when you're not busy, English treats time as an uncountable noun.
Like water or information.
Exactly. Uncountable nouns represent things you can't easily count as individual units. And a key rule is that uncountable nouns don't usually take a or an before them. You wouldn't say, I need an information, or do you have a water, unless you mean a bottle or a glass.
Right.
So free time is seen as this general, non-specific block or amount of time. It's a mass concept here.
Yeah.
Therefore, you just don't use a. The correct way to say it is simply, yes, I have free time. No article needed.
Got it. So free time, uncountable concept, no A. That's clear. It depends on how you're using the word time, because you can say I had a good time, but that's different, isn't it?
Right. A good time often refers to a specific countable experience or event. But free time generally is that uncountable block. Knowing the difference is key.
So there we have it, 8 common pitfalls, from specific phrases and word types to pronunciation and articles. Each one kind of opens a little window onto English structure, doesn't it?
It really does. And the great thing is, by focusing on these specific common errors, you can make real targeted progress. Learning everything at once is overwhelming, but tackling these known tricky spots, that's manageable.
Totally agree. It makes it feel less daunting.
If you find these examples helpful, seeking out more like them can be a really efficient way to improve.
Definitely a good next step if you're serious about ironing out these kinds of mistakes. So we've journeyed through these 8 points, hopefully understanding why they're errors makes it easier to avoid them.
And connecting this to the bigger picture. Maybe think about it this way. Fluency isn't just about speed. It's also about accuracy and using these fundamental patterns correctly, almost automatically.
That's a great way to put it.
So here's something to mull over. How does actively looking for these specific error patterns, the ones we discussed today, or others you learn about, change the way you listen to English? Or maybe how you proofread your own writing? Does it make you a more conscious learner?
Interesting question to ponder. Keep listening, keep learning, and remember, every small step in English takes you closer to fluency. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Dose of English. We share regular tips, lessons, and real-life examples to make your English learning journey easier. Whether you're learning for school, work, or just feel more confident, our episodes are designed for you. We keep it simple, clear, and useful so anyone can start improving, even from zero. Thanks for joining us.